Hey, Monkey community. Hope everyone's doing well. Checking in on the project. We bounced up above 400,000, which was great to see, and settled in at just under 400,000, 398,000 market cap. So another green day, which is great to see. Multiple green days in a row, holding up strong along with the broader market, which is incredible. If you look at Bitcoin, it is roughly flat over the last 24 hours, so holding on to those gains that it had yesterday and the day before. So looking good overall in the market. And it's nice to see Monkey showing some strength here and folks adding to their bags. Checking out the news, we have some interesting stuff here. But first, I just want to say, in general, for me at least, the thesis hasn't changed. Monkey is the simplest and best meme. It's a pure animal coin, and it has the capability to run massively, in my opinion, just because of how simple it is. It's a cute monkey. People understand it. It takes literally 3 seconds to explain it. And the fact that there's never been a massive monkey runner and it's so memeable, and we've got the great history here of working our bags, and I think we're pretty well known on CT for working hard. And so nothing's changed. So my point is, if you still believe in the coin, the thesis is still good and it hasn't changed. The community is still going strong. It's a good time to buy the dip, and we have a post about that. And so that's just my opinion. Do your research. If you still believe, now's a great time to add to your bag or just simply hold. But don't stop working. All right, looking at the post here on X, Kale Abe had a post here I thought was good. It says, so if you're a TA trader and you don't even take into account whatsoever that without the events of 1010, Bitcoin would undoubtedly be trading at 110K right now. I just don't understand how this isn't taken into account. A random one-off event messed up the charts. Who cares? Bitcoin will return to fair value shortly. So I agree. It was a huge day that day and a huge dip, and that has impacted things. But we've come back nicely, and so I think this is a good post here saying, hey, take that into account when you look at the price right now. And that was a unique event, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Luke Mikic here says SEC Chair Atkins says live on Fox that the Bitcoin market structure bill will pass soon. Is this the beginning of massive institutional demand for Bitcoin? So more bullish information coming out of Washington to keep an eye on. And Dior had a couple good posts here, I thought. Says for a coin to go, the community simply needs to keep holding and bothering people to buy until people realize there will be no dip and no one is left to sell, and then it just goes way higher. There's a coin doing this right now that was seeing a sideways chart, but it seems to have started its move. Sounds like monkey to me. I'm not sure what he's talking about here, which coin, but the first part makes sense. We just need to keep holding and shilling, and people realize there's a floor, and it's a perfect setup for a huge animal runner. And all we need is that spark, that catalyst, which will come. Trending Bitcoin says Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak says Bitcoin is safe, stable, and conservative. We are going mainstream. And so we see news like this all the time. Folks, especially rich people, talking about Bitcoin. And it used to be a small segment of folks would be talking about it, but now everybody knows about Bitcoin and is talking about it. And these rich guys seem like they're all holding some. So this is definitely bullish that we're going mainstream. It's going to get so much more common, and I think it's going to make more money flow into crypto, obviously. Trending Bitcoin, Michael Saylor gives his updated Bitcoin price predictions. He's got it going to 20 million over the next 20 years, but interestingly, 150,000 by the end of this year. So that's about a month left, assuming this was a recent interview, and he's extremely bullish on it. Obviously, Saylor's working his own bags as well, but I do think he truly believes that we'll see 150,000 by the end of the year. Altcoin Daily says Bank of America is officially recommending clients put up to 4% of their portfolio in Bitcoin and crypto. I think I may have talked about that yesterday, but that is still big news that these major banks keep on falling into line. Vivek Sen here says Senator Loomis just hinted the U.S. is about to buy Bitcoin. Big things coming. Tighten your seatbelts. And you can see her post here says Franklin buys Bitcoin, and she says big things coming. So that could mean that the U.S. is going to start adding Bitcoin. Brad Garlinghouse says I'll say Bitcoin to 180,000 by December 31st, and so he's even more bullish than Saylor, who said 150,000. Um, but that's good news that folks are positive about Bitcoin. Another one from Trading Bitcoin. Eric Trump says crypto will replace the banking system. He calls banks antiquated and discriminatory, predicting every bank will adopt crypto within a year. And so we're kind of seeing it already. And he's saying every bank will adopt crypto. And before, just even a few years ago, you probably all remember you had a hard time on ramping anything just because the banks were so wary of being involved with crypto. Now the major banks are all getting involved. Smaller banks are going to follow suit, and soon it's just going to be widespread adoption. And remember, onboarding and offboarding is a huge deal for new participants in the crypto trading markets, right? I mean, that's one of the most frustrating things. And it looks like we're going to have more banks allowing this. Watcher Guru reported here just in 12 trillion. Charles Schwab says will offer Bitcoin and Ethereum trading in early 2026. So continuing on that theme of banks allowing trading. So not only allowing on and off ramping, but actually allowing trading, which is big. Vivek Sen here says SEC chair just said on Fox that the US needs to embrace Bitcoin and crypto. Wild times. So again, more good news coming out of Washington. Andy Leon says without a community, even the best projects stall. And Monkey, I've said it before, the strength of the community is what makes the project so great, because I agree with Andy here that even great ideas will stall without a community of bag workers. So shout out to the Monkey community. Keep on working your bags. Binance posted here a quote from Alice Liu, head of research at CMC. On market cycles, we're going to see a market comeback in Q1 of 2026. February and March will be bull market again based on a combination of macro indicators. So this is head of research at CoinMarketCap. Obviously knows what she's talking about, probably looking at a lot of different indicators, and she's bullish for Q1, February and March, which is coming up soon. Lil Toro says today's volatility is just a small chapter in the story. In the big story of crypto, hold your vision, stay disciplined, and remember why you started. So when you apply that to Monkey, like I was saying before, remember the thesis when you first started. Why'd you like Monkey? Is that still true? If so, hold the vision, stay disciplined. So this is a good post here. Falcon Crypto along the same line says if a chart is going down but the thesis hasn't changed, stop stressing and buy the dip. You'll thank yourself later. Good post here. Just take a step back and look at Monkey and say, is any discouragement coming from the short-term price, or has the thesis changed? I don't think the thesis changed. I think there's going to be some big animal runners, and there's no reason why it can't be Monkey. And so we just need to keep on getting our name out there and working hard. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Keep up the good work. Follow on TikTok, me, AG Crypto, and also the others on here, Monkey Flips on here, like I said before, and then also interact with the post here. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.